How is everybody doing?
Awesome. It's so good to be here with y'all.
Man.
The team, the elite team, the legend.
Yeah, the Global Elite team right here in the Global Elite office, making history right now.
Right now.
We are here to introduce the first episode, something very special to each and every one of us. This podcast, Heart of Champions,
Yes.
the untold story.
Wow.
Man, this is going to be something special because we're going to really be tapping into the untold story, right?
That's right.
The heart of a champion and what that entails to become and going in the direction of being a champion, right?
Oh, yeah.
And those untold stories that most people have never heard of
Yes.
or never thought of or are having trouble going through that story themselves.
Yes,
So
yes.
we're really here to inspire, to get people to that next level on the journey of their life.
Yes.
Because we are all on a journey
Definitely.
and we are all making our own strides and our own waves and creating our own lanes. And we want to just help everybody get into that in their own lane and get them moving forward. So.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So that's what we're here for, and I have Fidel and I have Ruthie Bolton here, 2-time gold.
The mighty Ruthie. I have to throw that in.
The
I have to throw that in.
Ruthie Bolton. We got Fidel Moralez here with the Global Elite team, and myself, Miguel Garcia,
Miguel, the house.
with co-founder of Global Elite team here. Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Get it.
So Fidel, let's do the introductions here.
All right.
Fidel, tell us your backstory and where you're from and how you got involved with this podcast here.
Give us your manifesto.
All right, here we go. Let's do it long. The short story long, right? So from Fairfield, well, born in Santa Rosa, migrated in Solano County, moved to Fairfield when I was probably 6-7 years old. So this is kind of my stomping grounds in this neck of the woods. A lot of different things just to forward into after high school, went into real estate at 18. Did about 5 years in real estate, 18 to 23. Then went into the Air Force, served my country for about 8 years.
Wow, well,
Great
thank you for your service, sir.
Thank you.
for your
Thank you very much. And it was a great experience. You know, good to see that side of the the world. And after that, got back into real estate. Started a business. So this is some cool stuff we'll be talking about in this podcast. Is a lot of people's upbringing, their grind, entrepreneurs, different things that people do to rise in life. So after I got out of the military, went back into real estate, started a legal company. So I own Solano Legal. It's out in Fairfield. It's a litigation support company. And once I tapped back in, got that going, successful. It's been around now for 20 years and counting. So blessed to have that. And also when I got into real estate, ended up doing real estate out here in Vacaville. And I partnered up with my man to the right here.
Yeah.
And my other man to the left right now is behind the scenes. Mr. Brandon Titano.
All
What's
right.
happening?
What's happening?
Holla from the background.
Come on, my man. Yeah, let's get it. So these are my partners in crime here, and we're excited. We got this office downtown Vacaville. We're making a big difference. We are always throwing the premier, largest real estate training in Solano County and beyond. And we're about bringing the value, the culture, the collaboration, and we're all about teamwork. And, it makes the dream work. So I'm excited to be here. As we see the sign behind us, we're on to big things. We're collaborating with amazing people that you guys are about to hear with Ruthie here shortly.
Can't wait.
But that's my quick story on who I am.
All right.
Right on.
You're awesome. Yeah. Great teammate.
Thank you, guys.
And before we get to the main, I'm gonna do a little introduction of myself. I'm Miguel Garcia. I'm part owner, founder of Global Elite Team, and I started my career off in the banking industry and kind of worked my way up. No college degrees or anything. I just worked hard and got to where I am today by reading a lot of books and went through some trials and errors in my life, which we'll probably get into more in this podcast. But as far as where we're at right now, we created an office here downtown Vacaville. Like Fidel had mentioned, we are your premier real estate training and education in the Solano County area. And we're just, again, trying to bring the value to the agents,
That's right.
lenders, to anybody with the business mindset and bringing that value to them. So getting everybody to the next level. So not just in your career, but in life in general. So that's a little bit about me. And again, we'll have more podcasts about each and every one of our situations and stories. So, but we have the lady, the myth, the legend, Miss Ruthie Bolton here. She is a former professional basketball player.
With the WNBA Hall of Famer. Let's go.
Right.
Hall of Famer, baby. Come on.
Two-time Olympic gold medalist for the United States national basketball team, women's basketball team. So we want to say thank you, Ruthie, for being here and starting something great.
All that.
For everybody to listen to, because the first time I met you and I heard just a piece of your story, it was amazing. You knocked my socks off the first time I heard it. So I appreciate you being here and being here with us to tell us a little bit about your story, but I'm going to let you take it on and tell us a little bit about yourself, just a little sneak peek, because we're going to get into it.
Well, really, I'm really excited. Thank you for this opportunity, to create a space for a lot of people, untold stories. And I'm excited. I think, not just think, I know it's going to be an amazing endeavor. But just real quick, I don't like a lot of accolades, just download a lot of information about myself. I just really want people to understand what my why is. But just real quickly, I'm from a small family of 20, 12 girls and 8 boys. And so I'm the 16th of 20. And so my father was a minister, so he created a space that we went to church. And so I grew up as a PK kid, disciplined and going to church all the time. And my dad gave me an amazing foundation and talked about the mindset and talked about faith, attitude, and character. So those are my things, that faith, attitude, and character are 3 things that really has really helped me. But I've been able to play basketball professional for 15 years and travel the world and excited, and that's why I wore my shirt. I didn't dress up fancy like you all, but I wore my shirt saying bold looks good on me, because because bold is like, that's embodies who I've been and where I'm trying to go, is that boldness. And as you hear my story, you'll understand why. But I'm excited that basketball has been a vehicle and a platform for me to do something so much bigger. And I've been on a lot of teams, but to be here with you all is really special. And I was excited about it because, the Bible said our gifts will make room for us and put us together. And we have come together, and it happened just like that. I feel like we were so aligned, and it was easy for us to say, hey, you know what, let's do this. So I'm excited to be on y'all team. I'm excited to be, individually we're great, but I think together we're going to be phenomenal. We're going to really be able to move people to a place where they can write their story. And so I'm excited. I'm a team player, coming from a family of 20. I was in the military too. Thank you for your first lieutenant Army.
Thank you for your service as well.
I love being part of a team. I do. It is something unique and something special about team chemistry. And I feel like that's what we are doing. We creating this chemistry that's going to move people forward. And that's going to really, I think it's going to change, not just everybody get to watch. It's going to change their life.
Yeah. Man, it's something special that we have going on here. So, man, I appreciate you being here and looking forward to the up and coming episodes that we have coming out. So,
yeah, definitely.
Definitely. So as far as basketball, what made you pursue basketball? What made you want to get into that line of field and get started with basketball?
Well, like I mentioned earlier, I'm from a family of 20. And when you got 19 siblings, you got to play a sport where a team, where you could put at least 5 to, play. And it was something that we gravitated towards. And, you hear the story that we had a rim on a tree, a tie rim. It is true. And we did. It's still there today in our backyard, that rim on the tree. And I remember shooting in them, trying the ball come down and hit the root of the tree. It go everywhere. It hit uneven ground. That's why learning how to play in your own backyard, it really is a major investment, because it really helped me before I really knew how to play. So basketball was something I gravitated towards because I love competition, and it was just something where I got rewarded. Like if I could rebound, I could score, I could play defense, I could make a pass, I could set a screen. There's so many variables to the game, and that really why I love competition and I love to compete. So if I'm talking to girls or any athletes, I just said, "Why do you play the game?" They was like, I said, "No." I said, some will say compete. Competition is a beautiful thing because you discover a lot about yourself. So that's why I started playing the game, and it evolved. And I got a chance to, obviously, from high school to college, and got a chance to really play on a big national scale, on national arena.
So when did Ruthie first pick up the basketball? Was it all in your family, or was it just like?
I picked it up probably when I would say 8, 9, 10.
Yeah.
But the first team I played on, I was like 12 years old.
Okay.
And so I was on we call it a junior high team, and I played with my sister who was a year older. She was really superstar.
Okay.
So we got a chance to play together, and I really was learning from her. I was watching her, learning from her, but she was a phenomenal player and a different player, taller, longer arms, and so she's the one that I was looking up to and learning and trying to learn from her as I learned the game.
That's awesome. Older sister.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, that's that is the best teacher, right? Our older siblings, right?
Oh, yeah,
Being able
yeah.
to learn from them and grow from
So
them.
once I learned from them, then I eventually started beating the teacher. You know what I'm saying? Hey, that's how I do it. It's one of those things, basketball is like, it just sort of I just fell in love with it. I had my passion to play. And as you hear the rest of my story, there's a saying, when you know your why, you know your way. But if you lose your why, you lose your way. My why is that I wanted to play basketball, and I was willing to go through the mountains, climb hills, through the valleys, and because the game, I loved it so much.
Nice.
What would you say is like when you first picked that ball up? Were you like carrying that bad boy around, and it was all you could think about, trying to play it at school? As soon as you get home, was it? It came part of me. As a matter of fact, I played outside, and I hated when night came. I literally just would start crying, like, why is it dark? It should be day all the time, because I want to stay outside and play. And one of the torture for me is when my older sister would take me and put me right by the window and do my hair, because there's a lot of us. And so every time she called, somebody need to come in, I would always wait. And so I would wait to the last one, and as soon as she sat me down, that's when the fun just began. And I would be, no, stop, I want to go. I don't care if I do go to school with my hair like this. I want to go outside and play. So I was just this tomboy, just love outdoors and love climbing trees, love jumping fences, and definitely love playing basketball, relays, everything. Anything that really challenged me, I did it. But basketball was something that obviously I gravitated towards while we played.
Very cool. So fast forwarding through like your younger days, going into high school, I know basketball was always your heart.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Was there any other special sports that you like playing?
I played volleyball a little bit, but not a lot. I would say I probably should have done track and field more. I did it a little bit in high school, but our school was so small. Like my senior class was, I think, 25.
Okay.
Our basketball team, we were all related except for 2.
Oh, no way.
Listen, my mom had 20. My mom's sister 5 miles away had 18. What? Another sister had, I think they was racing. That's where I get the competition from. Yeah. 20
I
kids.
can see.
Yes, exactly. And another sister had 12. So we were all just, to me, all athletic. And so we loved playing the game. But track and field was something that I think I was pretty fast. Yeah. I was pretty fast. But it was just one of those things where we were it. So I remember one year our coach said, we can't do it, because we went late. We won championships in high school, so we didn't have time to do a lot of other sports. But I think if I really had focused and I had more opportunity to run track, I probably could have been pretty good. I was pretty fast.
That's awesome.
You had some wheels.
I had some wheels, man. I'm telling you, some wheels.
So you brought that on the court, though.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Brought the wheels,
my speed and quickness and my strength. I would take out the guns, but I don't want to.
I'll put those things away. Don't bust them out. Right?
Yeah, I don't want to bust them out. Yeah.
The gun.
But I, without a doubt, my strength and my speed and my just helped me until my talent caught up with me. See, some people just wake up and just talented. That's great. My sister Mayola was extremely talented, but I had to work harder for mine. So I kept a good attitude, worked hard, used my speed and quickness and my strength until my talent caught up with me. And when my talent caught up with me, then it was on.
It was game over.
It was game on, baby. It was game on. I had just that resilience, that fight, that tenacity. And my baby brother and I was really close. And so he actually getting ready to get inducted into the Mississippi Hall of Fame, but him and I was talking, and he said, we were reminiscing. He said, you know, one thing about you growing up, you didn't brag and you weren't arrogant about who you know, were. If you did something because you said, if I can do it, you can do it too. Oh, well, thank you, baby brother. But he was just saying, I was someone that led by example, and that people, it's like, if I can do it, I wasn't doing it as a way sound better than you. But it's like, hey, if I could do it, I brought people along with me. So that was good. That was a good reminder from him.
That's awesome. What I heard right there is something that most people look over is the working hard, right? And not looking for a particular outcome right away, right? And looking past it and knowing what that future self is going for, right? And the more work, the more harder it is, the more things that you go through, the better you're going to be when the time comes.
Exactly. The things that are hardest to endure will be the sweetest to recall. And that's one of the reasons why I travel the world and speak. And I you know, love doing, you know, even excited about this because I get a chance to share. I get a chance to paint a picture to the audience of people what my story. Because I seriously, if it was left up to circumstances and anybody else, I would have made it. It took grit. It took hard work. And I look at now when I look at my pictures, I know I was talking about how bad my college pictures were, but even as a little girl, I was looking at my pictures the other day and I showed my daughter. I said, Mom, look at me. I was chubby baby like you. And I said, Hopi, this little girl, I showed me as a baby. It's a picture of me like I was 7 years old. And I was like, man, who would ever thought this little 7-year-old girl with this bad hairdo, ponytails in the hair, would grow up to be, there was the Olympian inside of her. And this little girl, as she got older, 10, 11, 12 years old, I think about episodes where, because I was quiet. They said my twin brother took all my words. But there was something growing inside of me. There was a fight. There was a quiet. It was like the silent assassin. And so one of the reasons why I love to share, because my story of resilience and fight and drive didn't just happen overnight. It didn't just fall in my lap. I didn't just wake up and was the Olympian, a Hall of Famer, and was decorated. You know what I'm saying? I had to fight hard, but it's okay. And that's really what I want my story to be, a reflection of someone saying, hey, you know what? If she did, I can do it too. Yeah, thank you for giving me courage to tell my story. Like, you know what? I feel like quitting, but hearing your story, I'm going to keep pressing. I'm going to keep leaning in. Yeah. And that's what it's about. It's not about me downloading all the information about my life, but I want my story to paint a picture for some year or some young boy or some lady, you know, a man, and say, you know what? You've given me the confidence. I can lean in now. And if I'm not, even if I'm not perfect, because it's not a story about perfection, it's about progress. And so you've given me hope. Like, you know what? Hey, I'm going to pick up the pieces. This is where I'm going to pivot and rewrite my story.
That's it. That's it. Because the more hard work you put in, that hard work is really preparing you to become that future self.
That's right.
You know?
The hard work. And it makes it worth the while, because you said, man, because I stood on that podium in 96 and I was like, man, what if I hadn't gotten on that bus? Or what if, I thought of so many times I could have quit, and I felt like quitting.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Talk to us about that. Talk to us about that.
If you are doing something, now I know what you all do, y'all are the elite and y'all do your thing. I think if there's a time you don't get exhausted, there's a time if you don't question what you're doing, you're not working hard enough.
Oh, that's.
If you don't feel like quitting, you know,
Love that.
if you don't feel like sometimes like, man, why am I doing this?
If you're not doing enough, if you're not getting tired at what you're doing,
you're not doing
if you don't feel exhausted at the end of the day, you haven't done enough.
You haven't done enough.
You haven't done enough.
You have to exhaust yourself. And you have to say, you know what, because the key is finding that, you know what, when I feel like quitting, part of me say, I don't know if I want to do this anymore, but that why kicks back in, and that passion, you know what, you start seeing something bigger than you. You say, you know what, there's a lot of people depending on me. I'm going to push. I got colleagues. I got people that need me. So that drives you. That's part of your why. So that's why hard work, and say, you know what, yeah, I felt like quitting, but standing on that podium, I was like, man, I'm glad I didn't quit. I'm glad I got on that bus with a bad Jerry curl and a bad shot.
Yeah.
I got on that bus.
Yeah.
And but my father would have encouraged me. Had he not, and that's the key to being the power of words, you know, in your life. It just say, you know what, I don't have a lot to say, but I just want to encourage you. And my dad would say, you know, I'm not going to make a decision for you. He said, but if you get on that bus, I believe it would be the most important ride you would ever take. And wow. He stood out like, okay. Wow. So I got on that bus and not knowing my dad could see things I couldn't see.
Yeah.
He could see further down the road than I could. And that's what it's about. It's about being in that space and creating that space. And what you all do, y'all can see further down the road than some other people can. And in your story, you're taking your pain and you turn it into power. So you owe it to people that you meet. You owe it to them to share and say, hey, you know what? This happened to me too. I was discouraged, but I didn't quit. Yeah, I felt like giving up. Yeah, I was discouraged. Yeah, I was mad. But I found a reason to persevere.
Yeah.
And to me, that is what life is about.
You know what's powerful too is how you said when you were young growing up, you were kind of to yourself, right? You were kind of quiet, and now your voice is so powerful. And it's funny how full circle. So people can really take a piece of that, and no matter where they're at or where they feel they lack or don't do good enough, or maybe you can switch it and turn it all the way around.
That's right.
Because today you're so sought after and you're so powerful on what you say. It's just, you look back, you think some people would assume, you must have been a little
Exactly.
extrovert as a little kid.
Yes.
You must have been, first, raising your hand and loud. Not
No,
the
you
case.
know, it's not, because when I was at, I just spoke at Auburn at a women's conference. Listen, when I was in college, even then, that's sort of late, because now you're supposed to be sort of out of your shell. I would be walking to class to do a speech at my public speaking class. I would be terrified. I would be walking, praying that I would fall in a hole so deep that they wouldn't find me for 2 hours. So I would miss that class. Or a sniper would shoot me in the leg. I was terrified. When I would get in front of the audience, I would be like, oh, I can't do this. And it was just so hard for me. But who would ever thought that I would be standing in front of thousands and speaking? I was still evolving. As a young lady, and just really, but allow myself to grow, because my father kept speaking into me. And that's what helped me. And just like, man, I think about it now to today. I'm like, wow. And even my own family can't believe it. Even my twin brother, he was like, yeah, they say I took all your words. You sure got them back. That's right. I got my words back, and I got the muscles to show it for it.
That's right. That's right. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Nah, just pushing forward and stumbling as you go through it. And I know you have some scrapes and bruises along the way.
Oh, yeah. If you're going to fall forward. We go through life and we struggle. It's really not rocket science, to be honest. It's like, hey, we get a new day. This is a day we've never seen before. And I feel like God has blessed us to be here for a reason.
Yeah.
Some people didn't wake up this morning.
Oh, man.
So as we go through life and through a storm going to happen. Allow it to move you forward.
Yeah.
I'm going to borrow this from my brother. Paul would say often that a setback is a setup for a comeback.
There you go.
A setback is a setup for a comeback. So you go through things and what it is, and I don't try to sound like, my faith has been paramount in my life. So it's not a secret. I don't tiptoe around it. So I know without a doubt that my faith has helped me. And I just, without what I've gone through in life, without that anchor, without that faith, I would not have been able to do the things, that I've done. So I feel like our life, we were blessed to see this new day. So we have to be accountable. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing to impact? What are you doing to be a light in someone's life? And that's what I ask myself every morning. Ruthie, how can you be the best version of yourself today?
That's it.
How can you shed a light on someone's life? Not about so much me, but how can you be that light for someone? And it could be, I may be in line at Walmart, I may do it. I may be somewhere totally unexpected, but allow myself to be open enough to where I don't be so tunnel vision and caught up in just me.
Yeah.
And I miss out on blessing someone. So I like to keep myself available, whether it's in it. And I've had people say, you know what? Thank you so much. I wasn't expecting to run to you today. It could be anywhere. And they were just like, thank you for encouraging me. Nah, you've given me hope just from a 2-minute conversation. So that's what the power of words. And that's one of the reasons I say I wear bold looks good on me, because I've traveled in the airport and they say, you know what? Thank you for that. I needed that.
Yeah.
And they would ask me, so it would give me an opportunity to share why I wear. And so, but that's what it's about. It's about creating a space to help people move forward. Because people get stuck. And in the last 2 or 3 years with COVID and the mindset. So we owe it to them. And that's why I'm excited about what we're doing here, because I know we're going to help people to take their power back. We're going to help people to rewrite their story and get bold enough to share and be, I would say, bold enough to be transparent and to be vulnerable, because now,
That's it. Vulnerable.
Yes.
A lot of people think vulnerability is being weak.
yes,
But vulnerability is really about bringing out your strength within,
that's right.
and most people they get it mixed up, right? Oh, I'm being vulnerable. But the more vulnerable you are with the people around you, the stronger you're going to be and the more powerful you're going to be.
You know why? Because whatever you are vulnerable about and you have the courage to open up and share, it doesn't hold you captive anymore.
Yep.
So now you release it.
Telling your stories, right?
It don't have you. It's like you can't. I always say the look, Pete Gal on the left shoulder. You can't hold me captive anymore because I've already shared that.
Yep.
So it's like they're trying to find something else. So people hold on to so much because they're so afraid of what people gonna think. And I'm not saying air every dirty laundry, but have the courage and stuff to. Because in the documentary, Mighty Ruthie, when they shared that, I was terrified about some of the things that I shared in it. And I was just like, what are people gonna think? What are people gonna think? And oh my goodness, I'm to my in an agonizing way. I was just like, I can't do it.
Because I think in that documentary, they went into your deep. Darkest secrets, and
The things,
it
yeah,
went
it did.
deep in there, right?
It would, and the thing about it, because I had people thinking like, why are you sharing that now? You want somebody to feel sorry for you? Or even just some of the things that I experienced, and I was afraid of what I felt like what people gonna think. And the only thing that moved me to go forward with it is she said, you know what, you're gonna impact so many women's lives. You're gonna save women's lives that you had never met. I was like, wow. I
Because
know
you're
that.
not only empowering yourself by telling the
Yes.
story, but you're also impacting other women, other men.
Man, yeah, I've had a lot of men
right?
come up to me too about it.
Yeah,
But either
'cause-
they had a sister or someone that they know had gone through it. And sometimes men go through it too. We obviously we talking about domestic violence and what I went through, and it was so hard for me to open up. And it's just but
So what was it that like kind of broke the camel's back to allow you to be in that space?
because I
up
found
about
it when they asked me to talk about it. When it was about me, I said, no, I'm good. I'm good. I feel like I'm healed. It's water on the
past
bridge.
it, you're
I'm good.
Yeah.
But when they created this, I would say this storyboard of life about you're going to change so many women's life, you're going to save women's lives. I'm like, I started to think, I was reminded that my life is not just for me. My calling spiritually is not just for me. In the Bible said, Luke 12:48, it says, to whom much is given, much is required. So I've been given much, so there's much expected. Even my pain. That's why I wrote a book, From Pain to Power. So even my pain, because now when you don't share and you don't let go of it, you become a prisoner of your own emotions. I know I was.
Hell yeah.
So I think I was doing okay before, but I was flying. But I think when I really started being honest and opening up, I started soaring. There's a difference in soaring and just flying. Because guess what? When you soar, you can fight against gravity. You can fight and you can fly in the midst of challenges and the wind. And if you just fly, the wind can just destroy you. But if you're soaring, you know how to maneuver through the adversity of life.
And I hope everybody listening to this is really putting themselves in that seat that you're going through, that you went through, because I know some people that are listening and watching this are going through that same and holding back from letting it be known, whatever it is that they're going through. But just know, if you speak on it and you let it be known, you're going to become a stronger person.
You will.
Yeah.
It's really, because you know what? Adversity make you bitter or make you better.
And I'm always a positive thinking, so it's more
when
making you
speak
better.
it out, just like, hey, if you tell yourself, this is going to be a bad day, or I'm not, if I see, Junebug at work, he going to make me mad, or if I see Shalita, I'm saying, if you tell yourself that someone can ruin your day, it will be. If you tell yourself, if it rain, my day going to be terrible. If it rain, your day going to be terrible. But you say, you know what, hey, if it rains, I'm going to dance in the rain.
That's it.
The mentality and how you repeat those words and you speak over your life and say, you know what? I choose to have a great day. I choose to have joy. And no matter what, doesn't matter what happens. I might not be happy about everything, but my joy would not be bothered.
Yep.
My joy would not be bothered by circumstances.
Yeah, I remember when I used to work in the banking industry, we just opened the doors to the branch, and I had somebody come in. I said, hey, how are you doing? He said, oh, man, it's a terrible day. I had a flat tire. I had this, I had that. And I was like, well, you know, it's still early enough that you can have a good day.
That's right.
Right?
Like,
You can
hey, you
manifest.
need to put that on a shirt. You need to put that on a shirt.
Right. And most people, they let you know, if you woke up late, if you didn't have coffee, if you had a flat tire, something maybe bad, quote unquote, happened to you that morning, you still have a chance to have a great day. It's all a choice, right? It's all a choice in how you think about it, because that flat tire may have saved you from an accident.
Seriously.
Right?
You think, yeah.
If you didn't have that flat tire, you may have gotten to an accident and not come home that day.
Seriously.
Right? So we walk in blessings every single day.
Every day.
And those things that we think are taking us away from our day-to-day things, those are the same things that are help guiding us to where we're supposed to be.
Yeah. A great day. It's a great day to have a great day.
It's a great day to have a great day.
Another shirt.
Hey, another shirt. Hey, you know what? And when I travel, if I miss a flight for whatever reason, you know what? It doesn't. I won't stress about it. If we don't get on the flight for whatever, I say, you know what? I don't care if we have to sit in the airport 4 or 5 hours. I'm gonna read. I'm gonna write, and I'm just like, I'm not gonna let circumstances steal my joy.
There you go.
If I'm gonna be here 5 or 6 hours, why should I live being miserable? Worry about things I can't change.
Yep.
What I can worry about right now is how can I grow where I'm at?
Mm-hmm.
How can I make this day count? How can I be accountable for my pure existence on this earth? Every day I got a heartbeat.
Mm-hmm.
I'm breathing. Mm-hmm. I'm living like, what, you know what I'm saying? So I always seize the moment. I focus on the present.
Mm-hmm.
The present is a gift. Today is a gift.
Every day's a gift.
And so I'm like, hey, and even my kids, you know, my Hope, she's 13, my son 11. I said, all right, what's that G word, gratitude? Because I said, listen here, you didn't wake up on a bridge. I said,
Right.
you got a Hope as shoe. I said, listen, no, it don't, right here in the household, it ain't happening here. Gratitude is huge, being thankful, because that is the key that gratitude unlocks the wholeness of life. Gratitude gratitude is the key. Now, everybody want a whole life, but gratitude is that key that unlocks the wholeness of life. And I want a whole life. I want the best version of myself. And I'm going to be thankful. I'm going to find something every day to be thankful for. And every morning, like, hey, you know what? Okay.
And I'm glad you said that, because I know the people that are listening and watching this are on that same journey.
Yes.
And are looking for the wholeness in life. So,
Yeah.
man, we all have the key. We all have the key.
Ruthie, you said something super powerful too, that I was thinking about this when you wrote a book and did that documentary. You aired it out.
Yes.
You put it out there, and how difficult that is to just say, if I'm going to go do a documentary, if I'm going to do a book, I can't hold back. I need to tell it all.
Yeah.
So how long did it take with that idea to be able to do that? And you know, and then say, man, should I say this or not? Should I say?
Oh, it was tough. I actually had some spiritual counseling. It was tough. It was a moment because it was 15, 20 years after the fact. And so I didn't want to, you know, but I'm a person, I wanted to be honest. And so I had to risk. They're saying one of the greatest risks is to take no risk at all. If I wanted to, I had to take a risk, and it was tough. And, you know, I just felt like I really had to get outside of myself. You know, I feel like my calling in my life is bigger than me. God has blessed me. He's given me. I'm like, I could have easily not have played basketball. I could have easily been killed in a car accident. And I was a senior in high school. And I was in the back seat. My father was driving. My sister was in the passenger. And we got ready to make a left turn and saw an 18-wheeler coming. And the 18-wheeler, I saw it coming. It's the last thing I remember. And apparently it hit the back of the car.
Oh, wow.
The door got knocked off. Yes.
Wow.
And I was thrown out of the car 10, 15 feet. And it took them about 20 minutes to find me. And when they found me, I was in a ditch. And my head was laying right by a Bible that flew out the window of the car.
What?
Yes. So how many people survive an accident being thrown out of the car? So God had a plan for my life. He had something for me to do. So I say, you know what? This is bigger than me.
You said the Bible's right next to you.
Right next to me. He was like, hey, you little Mississippi bad shot, bad Jericho girl ain't going nowhere yet. I got way too much for you to do. He knew 30 years later I would be sitting here. He knew the pathway, the international. He said, I got a lot of things for you to do internationally, the stuff that I do. So I just felt like I know without a doubt that what I'm doing is bigger than me. And that's what pushed me to say, you know what? I just got to do it. I got to be vulnerable enough. If I I got to teach what I preach. I got to live it. I got to live it. So, but it was tough, and it's okay, because I think, like I said, you go through stuff and it's just it's hard, but it's the right thing. It's not always the easiest thing to do.
Yeah. And I can only imagine that you had some good, deep healing from that journey that you were on.
Oh, you don't even know. I didn't realize how unhealed I was.
Man, most of us are walking around like that right now. So
But it was just to be able to just let go and be able to share and be able to just like, you know what, and listen, I'm in process. I did a lot of speaking during that time, and I could not articulate 10 words without being emotional. And I said, hey, I don't know the answers. I'm just sharing, and I'm still healing. I don't, I'm not a counselor. But I'm just, thank you for allowing me to share. I did a WNBA tour, and I went to a lot of colleges, and most people were totally stunned that I won't say a victim, but a survivor of domestic violence. And they were just like, we would have never imagined. You don't fit the profile.
Yeah.
See, it doesn't have a respectable person. It doesn't, you know what I'm saying? So it happened to me, but I'm so thankful that I did it, because of the response, the people's lives that have been changed. I remember speaking at St. John's in Sacramento, a place where women sort of graduate after they've been abused, and they get trades, like learn how to cook, learn how to build stuff, different things. So I was speaking at that graduation, totally just, listen, I remember it was just one of the toughest time for me to share, because it was still so fresh. And I remember when I got done, this young lady came up to me and just ran up to me and just hugged me.
That's
Won't let me go. She said, thank you for saving my life. Thank you for giving me closure. And I didn't know her from Adam, but in my mess, in my circumstance, in my tears, in my agony, I was able to help her rewrite her story, give her closure. And to me, so it's about growing where you are and just walking into your victory, walking into your greatness, walking into your space. In the meantime, so to me, I was healing as I was going. I was, you know what I'm saying? I didn't wait. Because if I had to wait, I'm going to wait till I'm totally healed. I'm going to wait till I'm not crying anymore before I go speak. So now look who I miss out. I miss out on impacting all these women's lives that I had a chance to. So it really taught me a lot about just like, you know what, just go for it.
So that's more of like the aftermath, right, of the healing process. But how did you get through? Because I could only imagine that was a very detrimental time and tough time in your life.
Oh, yeah.
How did you get through it while you were going through it?
While I was going through it, it was tough. Every day I survived. Every day I wake up, I said, Lord, you spared my life. And I didn't know. I'm still young. I'm in my early 20s. I'm a green 20. I don't know if y'all know what that means from the South. Green means very naive. Didn't know a lot of things. So, because I grew up in the South, and if someone say, I'm going up the street, I believe they going up the street. If we just believe people by their word.
Yeah.
That's how growing up, very green. I didn't have any street life experience. And I just going through it, I just like, okay. And my faith, I said, Lord, I trust you. I said, I want you to help me through this. And I prayed a lot. I wrote in journals. I built up about 15, 20 journals.
Wow.
Writing, crying, just trying to find some kind of answer. I was trying to.
Why this was happening.
Why this was happening.
Yeah.
Like, what is victory? Is victory staying or is victory leaving? I don't care about how hard it is. I want to do what I'm supposed to do. It doesn't matter if it's hard or not.
Yeah, I remember you were when we first talked about this. You were telling us how you were staying in because that's just the person that you're in, right? You're in for the fight, right? But that really wasn't a fight that you should have been in, right?
Because my career, I had to fight for everything I got. So I had built this pedigree of fighting, turning no into yes. It's like, hey, you know what? You telling me no? Okay. So I love proving people wrong. I had to do it. Okay, watch me work. Yeah. So now in my marriage, I was trying to prove people wrong. People say, you got to leave. It's not healthy. Yeah. I'm like, the more people say go, the more I want to stay. I said, okay, I'm going to show you because I'm going to make this work because when I would go to counseling, I would sneak and go to counseling. And the counselor would tell me, you got to get 2 getaway bags. This is a very dangerous, so I'm thinking like, I'm paying you $150 an hour to not leave him.
To help me to stay.
I'm paying you, tell me how to fix him.
Yeah.
I ain't leaving, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, I don't know. I didn't know how to leave. I didn't know how to quit. I didn't know how to walk away because That wasn't part of my DNA. My DNA at every juncture of my life, when I leaned in and I fought harder, I got great results.
And so that really brings me to a point in all of our lives. I know I've experienced it, is being somebody for one certain part of your life and then trying to take that into the next part of your life, right? So fighting to get to where you're at, your success in sports and in being successful in that aspect was not helping you in that situation.
It wasn't.
Right?
It wasn't. My strength became my weakness.
Yep.
My strength, my fight, my drive. That's great in sports.
It's great.
Not willing to give up, but knowing how to walk away. I could. It was one of the most. It was so hard because I'm not a quitter.
Yeah.
I don't know how to lose. When I'm used to winning all the time, and everything was happening great, and it was happening at a time. Going through what I was going through, I was playing the best basketball of my life.
Wow.
My teammates didn't even know. Matter of fact, when they found out, when this came out, a lot of them was just in tears, like, we feel so bad, we didn't know. I said, no, it's okay. You all was there for me, even when you didn't know you was there, because you validated me every day. Every day you validated me when you gave me high five, when you encouraged me. And that's probably why I played as good as I played, because the other part I felt like I couldn't control, but what I could control was how hard I worked. How many rebounds I got as a scorer, how many points I scored, how I played defense. So I wanted to be validated. And so my teammates validated me, so I was willing to. So I gave everything I had for them, because I was in a space where I needed that from them. But they didn't know what was going on, but that was my safe haven.
Wow. Wow, that's powerful.
That was my safe haven.
And that's perfect. I mean, you made me think about that too, because I bet a lot of them, like you said, felt that guilt, like we weren't there, or we would have done this for you, but obviously they had no clue. But that was powerful that you shared that with them.
Oh, yeah.
Because you don't understand, when I escaped from that and I'm in this realm with
Yes.
you all gave me that.
Seriously.
That support without even knowing.
They gave it to me, and they really did, and that's why I fought so hard. And I would just, so they actually gave me the nickname Mighty. Nickname, they said Mighty, because it's like I guess that documentary sort of embodies what it means, the truth behind the mighty. Because going through what I went through, it was very uplifting when a lot of my teammates, not just Olympic teammates, but WNBA colleagues are saying, man, we've always admired you for your strength and your fight, just how you played and how you represented yourself. And now you were going, at the same time you were going through this, man, it takes it to a whole new level.
So what do you got for somebody that's actually going through that right now? Somebody that's listening, they're like, man, that's me. I know I should, or, I'm trying to fight through it, and not knowing how to step away, how to walk away. Doesn't have this built up the strength to get away.
Well, I want them to know, and I don't know the camera, I want you to know that you matter, that you be the best version of you and value who you are. Even if you made mistakes. Because a lot of time when a lot of mistakes you made, you feel like, I deserve it. I hear it all the time, they deserve it. They're going through. No, you don't deserve it. You deserve love. You deserve to be the best version of you. And so I just encourage every woman that going through to know someone is to just say, you know what? I matter. I don't have to look like my broken places.
That's it.
I'm bigger than my broken place. I don't have to look like what I'm going through, but please get help. There's a national number, a hotline number they call National Hotline Domestic Violence. You don't have to go through this alone. And the thing about it, you don't have to tell them who you are, where you're from. You just say, I need someone to hear me.
Yeah.
I need someone to hear me. And they get almost 4,000 calls a day.
Wow.
4,000 calls a day.
We'll put that in the link. We'll put that in the bio here so everybody can have access to that. So
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a huge resource to be able to tap
Definitely.
into.
so thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah, and then one thing you note too is that when you're ready to let them know who you are, where you're from, they can help you find resources in your area. But don't go through this by yourself. It's hard.
It's hard enough.
It's
Right?
hard
You're going
enough.
through it hard enough.
And,
right?
and not worry about, and I know people worry about being judged. I know being judged, what people going to think about you, but this is, please, at least at minimal, take advantage of calling that number so someone can hear you, so you don't have to deal with the emotions alone.
There you go. Well, I appreciate you, Ruthie.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Man, that was a that was a long one. So
We got so much.
We got
we're just
so
tapping-
much
just
more.
Scratching the surface.
Scratching the surface. I'm just so excited. You know what? The thing is that it's no one can tell your story like you.
yeah,
And I think that's what I think really I'm hoping and praying that people, women, men, people get moved to say, you know what, I do want to say something. And I actually spoke I did something here about a month and a half ago. I spoke at an event called Unmasked Love. It's a domestic violence and teen date rape type of launch of empowerment. And it was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. And I spoke there, and my theme was having the courage to be you, having the courage to speak out. And it was so awesome. It was just in that room, it was something magical happened. When I got done, this lady came up to me and said something to me. She actually was tending the bartender. She was selling, she the one that was serving alcohol, beer, wine.
So she was there working.
And she just like, oh my God, she just ran up to me just like, and sobbing, just like, oh my God. She said, I wasn't expecting this tonight. I was expecting to just come here and work, sell wine, and alcohol, beer. And she said, your story moved me. Your story moved my soul. Wow. And so I was like, wow. I think that's what it's about. It's about moving people's soul to a place where, because she's always wanted to write a book. She said, now I can write a book now, I can share my story. So that's what it's about. It's giving people the courage to transition and to go to a place where, you know what, I feel empowered now.
Wow. Well, that's what this podcast is all about. I see you tearing up right now.
Tearing up now. It's like,
man, you got to get some of that on the next episode.
Oh yeah,
here.
it's a lot more for what's come from, because
absolutely.
Yeah, it's like, I think the wisdom, having the experience we go through, we have to share, because they were saying, don't die with your dreams, don't die with your. You got to share. It's like, for you, everything that you have and you've done to bottle it up and sit on a shelf, just to sit there. Like something my dad would say, I don't want to wear out. I want to wear out and not rust out. I want to wear out and not rust, because you rush, you're just sitting, you're not moving, you're just being dormant. I want to be able to, because none of that means nothing. My gold medals, Hall of Fame trophy, that means nothing if I can't use it to elevate, to help someone rise above. And I do a lot of stuff with the organization called Rise Above. My program, Aim High. I do stuff with a program called The Courage to Be. Really, that to me, that is the new, that's a triple threat. In the game of basketball, having a triple threat, you shoot, pass, or dribble. To me, the triple threat now is taking me and what I've done and my experience and giving it to people and sharing it with people and say, you know what, and when they see it, they don't remember like, oh, Ruthie was amazing, but they say, you know what, I can see myself now writing that book that I wanted to write. Or I can see myself going back to college. I feel like I can see myself now. It's a reflection. When you look in the mirror, you see yourself, but you say, her story and the story is a reflection of them. Say, yeah, you know what? I'm going back to college. You know what? I'm going to open my business. And even what you all doing, you know, I've always wanted to go into real estate. I've always wanted to open my own shop. I always wanted to, you know, giving them that inspiration to that hope. Say, you know what? I'm going to do this. If I fall flat on my face, I'm going to get back up and keep moving. Yep. We want this to help people to move them to a place where, like, because guess what? When you're liberated from your own fears, you automatically liberate others.
Wow. When you liberate,
and this is
liberated by your own fears.
This is saying, don't fear. It's a poem, don't fear. It's like at the end of, I think it's by, God, I have to figure out who is it by. I read it all the time. It may. I love it. It's a lot of good parts in it, but it's saying, what do we fear? Sometimes we'll fear the best of us. You know, sometimes we'll fear the success. We fear the light in us. But don't be ashamed. Don't walk away from your gifts. Don't walk away from like letting not in an arrogant way. So guess what? Because as I'm liberated from my own fears, I automatically liberate others. I subconsciously give you permission as I'm doing my thing. You're not trying to brag, and I'm not trying to be arrogant, but when I do what I do and I'm blessed to do what I do, I subconsciously give other people the permission to do the same. Nice. And that's what this podcast is going to do. It's going to heart a champion, because there's a lot of champions out there. It is going to give them permission to say, you know what, I'm going to tell my story now. I'm not going to be quiet, and I'm going to walk into my greatness. I'm going to walk into my boldness. I'm going to walk into my mightiness, and they're going to create that I am fact. I am strong. I am mighty. And the thing about it, it's not about being that every day, every moment of the day. Because listen, sometimes I feel mighty, and sometimes I'm looking for my keys and they're in the refrigerator. So it's about recognizing it. Be okay with where you are. Yep. And be okay. Say, you know what?
And just working on it every day.
Every day.
Every day.
If we're traveling somewhere and we decide we're going to drive we can't drive to Spain, but anyway, if we decide we're going to drive somewhere, you drive somewhere 5 hours, maybe we went out the way maybe we got lost and we went down the wrong highway.
Yep.
Up the wrong highway for an
I've
hour.
done that a few times,
Yeah.
especially before the cell phones, right? We had
So now
maps
guess what?
back
You
in the
check your
day.
GPS, you get back on track. If you're trying to get somewhere where you really want to go, yeah, I may be delayed but not denied.
Yeah.
We're behind, but I'm trying to get to Texas, so we going anyway. So it's about in life. Don't be afraid. If you got a setback, they say, I'm gonna pick up the pieces. But this is the day that I rewrite my story. And that's what we want. This is the day that you realize a champion in you that you are.
Realize the champion in you.
That's right.
That's what this
I
is
see
all
it.
about.
Yes.
I love this. I love what we're putting together here. And it was a pleasure having you here, Ruthie.
Oh, yeah.
Pleasure having you here, Fidel. It's always been a pleasure. And this is for you to be the best version of you and to get you to that next level.
Yeah, and all I say, hold on, not that one, that's bad whistle. Not
There
that
you
bad too. Here, it's game time.
That's
Game time. Let's go.
Let's go. And you know what? Let's give a shout out to Sam Mickens.
Sam,
Sammy,
what's up,
what's
Sam?
up, Sammy? How you
Hey,
doing?
we miss you, man. We miss you. You got your seat somewhere over
We're
here.
going to catch you on the next one.
We'll
Sam.
catch you on the next one,
And we got my
Sam.
man Brandon Titano. Let's go. He's gonna
Thank you,
tap
B.
in. Come on, Brandon.
Yeah, thank you behind the scene. Okay, over there. That's behind the scene, the one you. All of us, a teamwork make the dream work,
That's it.
and that's
Teamwork
what's
make
so
the
awesome. Even though Sam not here, Sam, thank you for seeing the vision. Thank you for believing in this, and just helping us orchestrate and engineer this. Because hey, we're gonna move mountains.
Mountains.
And we're all together as a team. Teamwork make the dream work. And so I'm excited. And so thank you for
Super excited.
your vision and what you have done and going to continue to do.
That's it. That's it, baby. So, Heart of Champions, Untold Story, Session 1,
Hey.
Episode 1 is a wrap.
Let's go.
That's a wrap. Hey.
All right. Come on.
Yeah. Awesome.